If you're a Washington State parent staring down the calendar for the 2026-27 academic year, I know exactly what you're feeling right now. Stress, a bit of panic, maybe a mild sense of bureaucratic dread. You're trying to make sure your kid is perfectly set up for the coming school year, and you're just terrified of missing a deadline and getting waitlisted. Well, I want to tell you right now, your feelings are entirely valid. Navigating the public school enrollment process, honestly, it's like trying to solve a giant puzzle where half the pieces are missing. But hey, don't worry. We're going to bust through the myths and the confusion today and get you completely prepared for the school year in this explainer.
We're going to kick things off by addressing the one massive question that is probably keeping you up at night. It's the central mystery causing parents so much anxiety across the state right now. Are you ready? When exactly is the Washington State school registration deadline? Like, when do you absolutely have to have those papers stamped, signed, and submitted to guarantee your kid a spat?
Okay, let's dive into this because the answer is going to completely change how you approach this entire process. You ready for it? There isn't one. Yeah, no way, right? There is absolutely no single universal statewide registration deadline for public schools in Washington. The big twist here is that school registration deadlines are completely local. They're set by individual school districts, charter schools, and private schools. So if you've been frantically Googling for a statewide deadline, well, you can stop right now.
Let's break down how power is divided in the state's education system so you can see why it works this way. Up at the state level, you have OSPI. That's the Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction. They're basically the big bosses handling the statewide education rules, the reporting guidance, and those massive funding formulas. But locally, your specific town or county's school board holds the keys to the actual enrollment windows, the paperwork timelines, and the cutoffs for special programs. OSPI oversees the big picture, but your local district runs the day-to-day calendar. It's absolutely crucial to understand why this bureaucracy even exists. It actually boils down to money and logistics. Because, as OSP notes, districts rely on your enrollment data to secure state funding under Washington's prototypical school funding formula. When you register early, you're literally helping your local school district calculate its funding from the state. Accurately counting heads tells the district exactly how many teachers they need to hire, how many buses to route, and how many classrooms to prep. They need localized deadlines to give themselves enough time to do all that math. And this brilliantly illustrates how the system works. But there is one place where the state actually steps in with a hard universal mandate, the number 5. While the enrollment deadlines might be hyperlocal, the age requirement for kindergarten is one strict rule that applies across the entire state of Washington, and every single parent needs to know it. Here's the exact rule you need to commit to memory. Your child must generally be 5 years old by midnight on August 31st of the school year to be eligible for standard kindergarten. Let me emphasize that because it catches so many families off guard. Midnight, August 31st. If your child turns 5 on September 1st, they will not qualify for standard kindergarten for that academic year. It's a strict line in the sand drawn by the state, no matter how many vegetables your 4-year-old eats. Now take a deep breath. If your kid has a fall birthday, I know that cutoff can be incredibly frustrating. But there are some edge cases. Enter Transition to Kindergarten. This is a specialized program offered for kids who just missed that standard age cutoff. But remember our golden rule? Local control. Early entrance reviews or transition to kindergarten options are handled strictly at the local district level. They usually involve extra screening or specific eligibility requirements, and honestly, not every district even offers them. You absolutely have to check with your local office. So whether you're aiming for standard kindergarten, a transition program, or, just enrolling a high schooler after a big move, you need to be prepared. What is in your enrollment survival kit? Because getting ahead of the curve means having your mountain of government paperwork assembled long before you even click submit on an application. Let's make sure you don't get bounced to the back of a line just because you couldn't find a single piece of paper. Let's walk through this essential registration checklist. This is what districts across Washington are definitely going to demand. For example, Steilacombs specifically lists birth certificates and immunization records right up front. You need proof of age. You need proof of address, usually a utility bill or a lease to prove you actually live within the district boundaries. You absolutely need up-to-date immunization records plus parent or guardian ID. And depending on your situation, you might also need previous school records or custody and health forms. I urge you, do not wait until the last minute to gather these. Tracking down an official birth certificate from another state or getting a doctor to send a misplaced immunization chart, that can take weeks, and missing documents will absolutely slow your registration down. And you might be running out of time faster than you think.
Even as early as June 25th, many districts are already open for the 2026-27 school year. Districts like Clover Park, Kent, and Steilacoom have already announced they're actively accepting kindergarten enrollments for students residing in their boundaries. New student enrollment is frequently available before summer break even kicks into high gear. The window of opportunity is wide open right now.
Now, what's really interesting here is how your specific life circumstances can completely alter your timeline. Take a look at these special situations. If you're a military family, Washington has new legislative rules regarding enrollment and course registration taking effect on July 1, 2026. If you're looking for a choice transfer to a different district or a specific school, those have entirely separate timelines and very strict capacity limits. And as we discussed, transition to kindergarten requires earlier paperwork and special screenings. If you fall into any of these categories, the clock is ticking even faster for sure.
Which brings us to the absolute core mantra of this entire explainer. Check your local district website first. Do not, and I repeat, do not assume that just because the district next door has a deadline in late August, your district does too. Deadlines vary wildly even between neighboring towns. You need to pull up your district's website and look specifically for pages labeled enrollment, registration, or new student enrollment. So, the crucial point is that you need an empowering, actionable roadmap to get this done, and honestly, it's simpler than you might fear. Step 1, check your local district's official website today. Step 2, gather your necessary documents, build that survival kit we just talked about. Step 3, call the enrollment office directly if you get stuck or if you can't find a clear deadline online. They are literally there to help you. Follow this 1-2-3 action plan, and you're going to get your kids registered successfully. I want to share this final piece of advice directly from OSPI. Confirm details with your local district because schedules and requirements can change. Things shift, capacity fills up, programs evolve based on staffing. Early action reduces your stress, ensures your records are processed, and guarantees a smooth, confident start to the school year on day one. So here's my final question to you. Your local district is likely already accepting applications for the 2026-27 school year. Are your documents ready? Don't let a missing piece of paper or a misunderstood deadline stand between your child and their classroom. Use what we've covered today, go find that birth certificate, check your local district website, and let's get enrolled. Because navigating this initial paperwork isn't just about beating a deadline. It's the very first step in advocating for your child's entire educational journey. What other local district rules might you need to advocate through next?